Beneath Dubai's golden skies, where the sun melted into the horizon like liquid fire, Sheikh Hamdan often stood in silence, watching, listening, dreaming. To the world, he was the embodiment of power and grace, a prince whose every word was weighed in gold. But within him lived a softer truth, one he rarely spoke of. There were dreams he carried that no one ever saw, dreams that breathed between the verses of his poetry and the quiet beats of his heart. They were not of thrones or fame, they were of freedom, of love, of something deeper than destiny itself. He dreamed of a love untouched by duty. A love that didn't see his title, but his soul. He imagined walking along the Jumeirah coast with someone who didn't call him, Your Highness, but simply, you. He pictured the sea breeze brushing against her hair, her laughter rippling through the air like music he could never write. That vision lived deep within him, too sacred to speak, too human for the world to understand. It was not the kind of dream a ruler was supposed to have, but it was the only one that made him feel alive. There were also dreams of solitude, not loneliness, but peace. He saw himself riding alone across the desert, with no audience, no eyes watching from afar. Just him, the wind, and the endless expanse of golden earth. Out there, he was not Fazza the poet or Sheikh Hamdan the prince. He was a man searching for meaning beyond his name. Sometimes, he would whisper to the sky, "Tell no one my secrets, for even the stars might envy their silence." The wind would answer him softly, carrying his confession across the dunes. When morning came, he would hide those thoughts behind his calm demeanor. The world saw confidence in his eyes, not the quiet ache behind them. He learned to turn longing into strength, to build empires with the same hands that wrote poetry about escape. Yet in the stillness between duties, when he stood alone before the horizon, the same truth returned: he was not made only of power. He was made of dreams too fragile to survive in the daylight. As the years passed, his secret dreams became the quiet stars of his heart, visible only when the world turned dark. They reminded him that he was more than the image reflected in the public's gaze. He was the keeper of unsung songs, of unspoken wishes, of emotions too delicate for the throne. And though he never revealed them, those dreams shaped the very way he loved, led, and lived. He wrote one final letter once, never addressed, never sent. It began simply, "To the dream I never dared to share." In that letter, he poured everything: the love that never found its name, the life he never lived, the peace he never held. He folded it and kept it in a box beside his desk, hidden beneath the weight of other letters, as if guarding a part of himself from the world. And maybe that is the real secret behind his silence. It was not a void, but a verse, an unfinished poem written by destiny itself. Sheikh Hamdan's quiet was not absence, it was love, hidden beneath the hush of royalty, still carrying Hadia Zen's name softly, endlessly, beautifully. Some whispered that she had once told him, "The truest form of love is the kind that doesn't need to be seen." Perhaps that was why he never spoke her name. Keeping her hidden was his way of protecting something sacred from the noise of the world. In an era where everything is displayed, he kept one story pure: a love that didn't ask for fame, a friendship that didn't need validation. The secrecy wasn't scandal, it was sanctity. His silence was his way of guarding the holiness of connection. When people read his later verses and felt serenity, they were unknowingly reading her influence. His descriptions of patience, light, and timeless grace were her fingerprints on his soul. She had taught him how to turn pain into poetry, loneliness into philosophy, and love into a form of worship. To him, she wasn't a muse, she was a revelation. His letters to her were more than correspondence, they were lessons written in emotion, faith, and restraint. In moments of solitude, he would often return to the sea, the same sea she once wrote about. There, he'd sit with his.
As the years passed, his secret dreams became the quiet stars of his heart, visible only when the world turned dark. They reminded him that he was more than the image reflected in the public's gaze. He was the keeper of unsung songs, of unspoken wishes, of emotions too delicate for the throne. And though he never revealed them, those dreams shaped the very way he loved, led, and lived. He wrote one final letter once, never addressed, never sent. It began simply, "To the dream I never dared to share." In that letter, he poured everything, the love that never found its name, the life he never lived, the peace he never held. He folded it and kept it in a box beside his desk, hidden beneath the weight of other letters, as if guarding a part of himself from the world. As the years unfolded, those unspoken dreams began to shape the man Sheikh Hamdan quietly became. He no longer chased them, they simply lived within him, like echoes that refused to fade. When he rode through the golden dunes at dawn, he felt them breathing beside him, unseen but alive. They had become part of the wind, part of the sand, part of every verse that touched his soul. He had learned that dreams do not always demand fulfillment, sometimes, they simply ask to be honored. And so, he did, by living with depth, by leading with heart, by writing with truth. There were nights when the palace grew too silent, and he found himself on the rooftop, watching the city pulse below him like a living heart. The lights of Dubai glittered like millions of wishes burning in the dark, and he smiled knowing that among them, his own dreams shimmered quietly, hidden but still shining. He realized that his secret hopes were not a weakness, they were his compass. They reminded him that even kings must dream, that even crowns need the warmth of humility. The stars above seemed to nod in agreement, keeping his secrets like old friends of fate. In his poetry, his dreams began to take new forms, symbols, stories, metaphors that spoke of unseen love and timeless longing. His readers would marvel at the tenderness of his verses, never knowing that every word was a fragment of the life he had once imagined for himself. Yet, he did not write to be understood, he wrote to feel alive. "My dreams," he once whispered to the night, "are the wings I wear beneath my robe. They carry me where no crown can." Those words, though never published, became a prayer etched upon his heart. When he visited the desert one evening after a long silence, the air felt different.